Hello.
Hello,
Welcome,
everyone.
beautiful beings. And look who we have here today. We have Ben from Beneficial Tarot.
Hello, everybody. And Deb, thank you for having me.
Thank you for
So good to
coming.
be here.
How are
You're
you
welcome.
today? How are
I'm
you?
good. Well, it's been a strange day, as you know, with the Queen
Yes.
passing and everything. But yeah, it's strange, weird vibes in the UK, I guess. It's just a sad day. So it's nice to, after the funeral and everything, it's nice to come on here and talk to you. You
And
know,
we will attempt to raise spirits today.
yes, definitely. That sounds good to me.
So, I really appreciate you coming. I know that your schedule, your dance card has been full lately.
Yeah. No, tell me about it. It's terrible, this schedule of mine. I feel awful though, because it's like, because I work as well, I keep, when I need an administrator, I need a PA, that's what it is, Dev. Anybody want to send applications? But yeah, it's like, it's hard, isn't it, sometimes? But we've had this upset for a while, haven't we? And because we spoke when we did we were on Gerald's channel, wasn't it? And I was so glad when you asked, because I've been meaning to do something with you, because
Well,
I think
that's
you're fabulous.
yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have been I when I started sending out emails to ask invite different people onto my show, that's when you decided to take your hiatus, and I wanted to
Yeah.
respect that. So
Oh,
I thought that when you started to come back, Gerald gave me the opportunity to jump in and ask.
yeah. I know, bless him, bless him.
Yes,
And my
yes.
hiatus only literally lasted 2 weeks. I was expecting to go off for 2 months, but then it was just like 2 weeks. I was like, oh, I kind of really miss
You
everybody.
needed to come back.
I was like, I gotta come back.
It's hard to be away because
It is.
it really is a community.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I know I didn't feel well for a while, and I really missed the interaction.
Yeah,
I just didn't have the energy to come on and
yeah.
um,
No,
be in chat.
the same day, but I kind of left thinking, oh, I'll have a bit of a break for a couple of months, get back into the swing of things, because work was busy at the time, and I thought, oh, I'm never going to be able to put videos out like as much as I wanted to, because I wanted to keep it going. I thought, well, if I tell everybody I'm on a break for a bit,
Mhm.
but oh no, 2 weeks in, and I was like, oh gosh, I really want to make a video, and I really want to speak to people, and it's all
Well,
about
and
connecting.
I love your little short. Um, they're not really parodies that you do.
No.
They're more
Yeah.
like an homage.
Yes, yes.
So,
Oh, I know. Do you know, that's one of the things, although I love tarot, I was talking to Tanji because I do a lot with Tanji, and I actually love doing those videos more than I like doing flip throughs of tarot decks. I much prefer doing the fun stuff and
well,
having a laugh and that,
that is sorely needed right now.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
need to have those smiles and laughs,
yeah.
and just to the what was the latest one? It was a Stephen King.
Oh, The Shining.
Yes, The Shining,
Yeah.
and it was very short, but
Yeah.
it was like it made me giggle. So
Good. I'm so pleased, because this is it. You see, this is what I want to make people laugh and have fun, and it's so important to do that, I think,
yes.
isn't it?
And I saw where Tangi said that the twins scared her and it was her. So
Oh, I couldn't stop laughing, because I'd said to her, I said, I've put the video out, Tanji, and she messaged me back, and she says, Ben, I was scared watching it. She says, and I'm scared of myself. And
I
she was sitting
know.
there with her popcorn, and she was like, I'm really scared.
That's when you know you did a good job, when you scare
Yeah.
yourself.
Well, I
So,
said to her, I said, obviously you're a fabulous actress, Tanji. I said, to scare yourself like that.
so. Let's say hi to some
Yes,
people
let's.
that are in chat. This is Mako.
Hi,
Welcome.
Marco.
Thank
Lovely
you
to
for
see
being
you.
with us.
Yeah.
Cardamancy Mesquite, who
Hello.
is Angela,
Hi, Angela.
and we have Blue Crescent Tarot, Deanne
Oh,
is here.
Deanne. Hi, Deanne. Lovely Deanne.
Let's see if I can make my mouse work. Jenny is here. Hi,
Hey,
Jenny.
Jenny. Good to
Aw.
see you.
My day is going fine. How is yours? And let's see, anyone else? We have, there's Gerald. He's lurking.
Oh, Gerald.
Hi,
Hey,
Gerald.
Gerald. We were just talking about you.
Yes, we were.
All good. All good.
Oh, Angela said her cat turned off her laptop again. He does
Oh,
that sometimes.
cats. Bless them.
So now you mentioned, and we should, because it's the elephant in the room, say that we, thank you, Deanne.
Oh,
I hope so.
thank you, Deanne. That's lovely.
We want to acknowledge the that the nation is saying goodbye to Queen Elizabeth II, and that she has been seen off in grand style.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone in chat has felt it, but when I was watching some of the procession, I felt the sadness.
Yeah, me too.
And it's it's palpable, and I imagine it's much stronger there with you, Ben, because you are there.
Yeah, it's weird today because I've just been to the shops after the funeral had kind of happened and that, and even outside, people walking with their heads down, and a couple of people are in the streets talking about it, and it's just all very quiet. And you go into the shops, and people are just very somber, and it's just a strange day. It's very,
Yeah.
understandably, because she was such an amazing woman, wasn't she, the Queen?
Does today mark the ending of the official mourning period, or does it go?
I believe so. I believe we've been in mourning since she was announced dead,
Since,
and then
yes.
after the funeral. So tomorrow, people won't have to wear, like, a lot of our TV presenters have been wearing black and everything.
Yes.
As I think tomorrow they can wear, they can go back to normal, in that sense. So I think it ends tomorrow. But of course, the next thing will be the coronation, and I don't know when that's happening yet. I don't think they've set a date for that yet. So yeah, it's all go at the moment in the UK.
Well, it may become more of the new normal tomorrow. So
yeah, absolutely. It's so strange thinking things are different, like with the king on the throne. I mean, I've never known that. I don't think any of us have ever known that in the UK.
And and this is just from an American watching from the outside, I didn't think that Charles would ever be king.
No, I didn't. I actually thought at one point he might have abdicated to William, because obviously he's getting on now, isn't he?
Felt like that too. But here we are, and it's we'll see what happens going forward.
Yeah.
That it will be different.
Yeah.
It will definitely be different.
Absolutely. It's a new age, isn't it, in a sense? Yes. It feels like.
And whatever happens, it will be a transition toward a new thing.
Yeah.
So whether he's there for many years or just a short period, it will be a transitory time.
Yeah, definitely. I agree, Deb, there. Absolutely.
So on a brighter note, it's lovely to have you here. It's so nice to finally get to chat with you in person and on one-on-one, and be able to have a discussion for anyone that wants to join us.
Yes, absolutely. And Deb, thanks so much for asking me, because we've been talking half an hour before we started, and that went so quick.
It did.
Didn't it?
It
was
did.
Like, where did that go? So it's lovely.
So one thing that I thought that might be interesting to ask you is, how did you start your spiritual journey?
Wow, that's a good question. So I was brought up as a kid in the Christian faith and that, My dad and his parents were Catholic. I wasn't Catholic. My mum didn't want us to be Catholic, which I was quite happy about in the end, because it's not, I just feel it didn't resonate with me, the Catholic faith didn't anyway. But as I was growing up, I was always like interested in ghosts. And as a kid, my mum would take me to the video shop to get a video, and I'd head straight for the horror section. And I
Me
used
too.
to, anything paranormal, anything to do with spirits and things like that, I was just fascinated by it. I wanted to know more about it, and I'd go straight to Amityville Horror on the shelf, and I'd pick that. And I don't know how I got away with it, but she'd go to the thing, pay for it, and then she'd just put me in the front room and let me watch it. I wonder whether she actually didn't know what I was pulling down off the
She
shelf.
may not have realized
But
the adult nature of the content.
yes, absolutely. And we laugh about it now. And I think it was just like, well, she says, you seemed okay with it. So I was like, anyway, I loved all that kind of stuff, loved ghosts and things. And then when I was about 13, I'd heard about tarot cards, and I was told that, oh, if you turn them out, these cards, if you turn over death, you're going to die. If you turn over the devil, something bad's going to happen. That's what and I was like, oh my God, this is freaky. And I thought, but I loved it. I thought, this is so interesting. So I was like, but I was scared of them at that point. How many Chucky dolls does? Only one at the moment, Cheryl. But I was fascinated by it, and my friend, we were looking after her grandma's house. Hi, Susan. And she said, hi, Silver. She said, do you want to come over? And I was like, yeah. So we were at her grandmother's house, and she was working through some cupboards, my friend was, and she found this book of witchcraft and a tarot card deck. And we were fascinated by it. And we started looking through this witchcraft book, and we started reading it together. And then we realized we were reading a spell out loud, and we looked at each other and we were like, oh my gosh, put it away. This is scary though. And then she got the tarot cards out, and I didn't want anything to do with the tarot cards. I was like, oh, I don't want to mess with them, like, after everything I'd heard. Anyway, the next day she came to see me, and she said she'd been using them. And she says, they're not what you think. She says, you don't understand. So she invited me down. She explained it to me about, death doesn't mean death. The devil doesn't mean anything bad. And it went from there, really. And we used to go to each other's houses at the weekends and read for each other. It was just a nice time to learn more about ourselves, and feel okay in that. And that's when I started reading books on different things, and I wasn't so restricted to just beliefs from what I'd been told, if you know what I mean. And that's how it started, really. So I would say from about 13, that's when I really got interested in tarot, and it's been a love affair since then. But I did have a span of 10 years in between that where I didn't do any tarot for ages. I had a bit of a break from it. Just because I think I'd still got the old beliefs in the back of my head, and I was still a bit unsure. And I'd used some Lenormand cards that predicted a death, and a death did happen, and that scared me slightly. So I put them away for many years, and then you go through life, don't you? And you have ups and downs, and I had a bit of a downtime. And that's when I came back to cards again. Hi, Peter. Lovely to see you.
Oh, well, I hope the open heart surgery went well and the recovery goes well.
Oh, bless. But yeah, so it's nice when you can come back to it. And I've got a completely different view on things now, and I see them as a great tool for self-discovery and help others as well. I don't feel like, for me, tarot cards, I'm telling the future. I see them as my thoughts on the table and a possible future, if depending on how you view it. But yeah, I think they're great. There's just too many choices out there, Deb. That's the only thing.
Well, and I think that some of us had to let go of trappings.
Yeah, Absolutely.
of the tribal narrative that we had growing up. That
Definitely.
And I don't think our parents meant to do that to us,
No, my
but it
parents.
was done to them, so
Yeah.
it's all they knew.
Yeah, I was lucky because my parents are very, open. Oh yeah, you choose what path you want to go down and you explore it. That's fine. They don't tell me you can't do that. You can't do that. Which I think has really helped. But a lot of my friends at school growing up, they were very much stuck down that path of, very
And
rigid.
yes, and I think that we each of us have to come to a place where we can
Yeah.
let go of things that might not have been true.
Yes.
And some people never get that.
No, I agree.
So,
And it takes a lot of deconstructing, doesn't it? I think.
I'm sorry, they are outside doing my lawn.
No worries.
So
Gotta be
I live
done.
in an apartment, so I have no control over it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Gerald is working on seeing
Oh, Gerald.
an art quilt, and that will be exciting when it happens. So
Gerald's made some amazing quilts,
yes.
I can't imagine doing anything you can't do.
I couldn't tell him he couldn't do anything either, because obviously he's quite talented.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, guys.
You are quite talented.
Thank you.
So after those years, and you decided to, what made you decide to pick the cards back up?
I hadn't lost my job. I'd left a job because I didn't like the manager. They were very condescending and not very nice. And I just took the decision to leave because I didn't want to be in that space. And I had a few months off in between jobs. And I really hit a low point because I didn't know what to do with my life. And I was like, I don't know what job I wanted to do. And it left me with a very little confidence after the experience I'd had. And I just remember sitting there feeling so upset, and I just, when you just think, I don't know what to do anymore. And then all of a sudden, I had the urge to go on YouTube, and I came across this channel talking about angels. And I can't explain it to them, but all of a sudden, I remember tears coming down my eyes, and I wasn't particularly upset, but I just felt like I was in the right place at the right time, and I was meant to see this video, and it drew me to some angel cards that I decided to pick up, and I picked these angel cards up, and I don't know what it was. I just felt so different and much better, as if someone had completely put their arms around me and said to me, "It's going to be okay." And it was. And not long after that, I picked myself up, I got my job that I absolutely love, and I was like, decided that I wanted to push the boundaries and do something I'd never done before and create a channel. And 5 years ago, 2 years ago, I've never thought I'd start a channel. I was too quiet, too shy, you know. Whereas I thought, no, I've got to do this. I've got to push boundaries and just see where it takes me. And I was completely enveloped in a lot of love from people, and it was wonderful. And that brought me back up to, feeling good about life again and wanting to get back out there and make those kind of connections. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that it was a feeling of being safe?
Yeah. Saved or safe?
Safe.
Safe. Yeah, it was. And being with people who had gone through similar things in their life and could completely understand you,
Yes.
on a certain level. And it was like, wow, I'm not the only one here who's gone through something difficult and found that there's others who you can talk to. And it was a lovely time when I started my channel. And I was like, it was just so nice to speak to people who felt similar to me, if you know what I mean. It was like a euphoric moment, really. It was wonderful.
And so now here you are, and you regularly read all kinds of cards,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they haven't scared you away.
No. In fact, they've not scared me at all, and I've bought loads. I've gone the opposite way now. I'm like, oh, I love that deck. Love that. Embraced it fully.
Isn't that funny? We have to maybe reach a level where our views about life
Yeah.
and maybe even the end of life on this
Yeah.
planet change.
Yeah.
And so that it's not, knowing doesn't have to make you afraid.
No. And Deb, I often think back to when if something so interesting and intriguing makes you feel good, like reading tarot used to make me feel very good. What's so wrong about that? You know what I mean? And I think that's it,
The answers, tarot people tend to open up about their feelings, even if it isn't detailed specifics. We are used to digging into experiences and feelings and reflecting on them as well. And I think that goes along with most of us being empathic.
Yes.
That we are open to the energy around us, and we can feel what other people feel.
Yeah.
And it makes us have to deal with things.
Yeah, definitely. Instead of pushing it back,
Yes,
you actually think, it brings it to the forefront. And I think it's good, in a sense, and that's what I think with tarot. Sometimes you go to tarot because you've got something in your head that you just kind of think, why is this happening? Why am I not processing something, or why am I not doing something that I feel I need to do? And tarot can really help you with your thought processes and kind of look deeper in, can't it? And bring things more to the surface, I think, which I think is helpful sometimes.
So I have to, my baby wants to be on camera.
Oh, it's so lovely. How cute. Look at those eyes. I mean, they're just adorable, aren't they?
He was literally dropped at my doorstep.
Really?
I saw him online.
Yeah.
I inquired about him. The next day, the lady at the rescue called me and chatted for about 10 minutes. And she said, well, and this woman lived a good distance away from me. She said, well, when can we get together and meet the little guy? And I said, well, it's a good distance. I need to have, it'll take me a few days to make arrangements, like Gertrude. And so she said, well, why don't I just bring him to you today?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So this was like at 8:00 in the morning. And she said, I can be there by 2.
Wow.
And she literally dropped him at my doorstep. She came in for about 10 minutes, made sure I was who I said I was.
Yeah.
And and she'd left him. Hi, Beth. And that was.
You never look back since.
No. So he was literally dropped at my doorstep. And he gets along with my cat. They play all the time, and they love each other, and they cuddle. And
I love that when cats and dogs get on like that, though.
Yesterday, a fly got in, and they were both chasing the fly. So anyway, he almost always wants to be on camera. So.
Well, I don't blame him. Definitely go for it, is what I say. I love it.
Let's see. I did have, and I don't know if this is a question or not, Jenny. You said that you were looking for your next staffing job. Did you want to ask that question, or were you just throwing that out there?
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't even know if Jenny's still here.
No.
But we will find out, because I wasn't sure if she was asking a question or if she was just so. Oh, he's hoping Ben will
Ben will
put him
put
in
it.
one of his videos.
Yes, he's welcome to come in one of my videos there if ever he wants a, you know, a star part.
Who would he be, though? I mean,
Beethoven? We could do a Beethoven parody.
I have to find a wig or something. Make a little wig
Not
for
the
him.
right breed, but he does it. Yeah, you can put a wig on. That's what I do. Definitely.
So, Jenny, if you're still here and that is really a question, ask it again. And
Yeah, feel free.
so, okay, I lost my train of thought. So,
That lovely dog.
so, you mostly work on your YouTube channel in the evenings and on the weekend because
Yes.
you obviously have to support yourself.
Yeah.
So, does that sometimes is it more refreshing to do the YouTube channel, or is it more like it's something that you have to do?
That's such a good question, Deb, and no one's ever asked me that. And I think it's important to talk about actually, because when I first started, I loved it. I mean, every minute I got, I wanted to do a video, and I was
Mhm.
constantly working on YouTube. And I'd say for the first 3 months, well, 2 or 3 months, I was very much like that. Weekends were just filled with me just trying to do videos and filming silly things. Like I used to do a dance before every flip through and silly things like that, just to bring a bit of something different. But then as time went on, you know, it got harder with work because my work was getting someone left, which meant some of their work came into our team, so that was hard. And then I was finding it harder, and even now I still find it hard now sometimes to get the right balance.
Mhm.
And I think it's so important to have balance, and this was why I decided to take a break a few weeks ago, because I got to the point where I did burn out, and I did at one point I was trying to release 2 videos a week. One would be a flip through, and one would be a video response to something. And I did put. I'm laughing at Gerald. Yes, I am, and still the village bicycle Gerald. And I was going on lives left, right, and centre, because I wanted to, not because, you know, but in the end, you just can't do it all. And I did burn out, and I thought, oh, this is why I need a break, which is why I took that break. But as I say, 2 weeks later, I missed people, and I thought all you've got to do is just put boundaries around yourself. And I would say to any new content creator, if you ever feel like you're burning out, you know, take a break. It's absolutely fine. And the other thing, Deb, I think I made a mistake announcing that I was going to take a break, really. I think I should have just took the break, and not said anything, because I would have come back anyway in 2 weeks. I know, Beth, yeah, I don't know how people do. Sometimes, you know, and it is hard with the job as well. It's really difficult. And I feel awful because people have, Gertrude's one of them, has approached me recently, and I need to respond because I really want to connect with these people. And sometimes work gets in the way, and it's been we just squeeze. You can squeeze me anytime.
So,
But yeah, it's yeah, you do get burnout, and I would say to anybody, don't put pressure on yourself, because when you do put pressure on yourself, that's when things get. I mean, when you start not
right,
to
you
enjoy it.
don't want it to be a job unless you're going in with that mindset that it's
Yeah.
going to be a
Yeah.
job and you need to do this
Yeah,
to earn a living.
yeah,
If you're doing it for fun or to help or,
yeah.
you know, raise vibrations or whatever Richie's here.
Oh, hi, Richie. Lovely to see
Um,
you.
then you don't want to burn out. You want
No,
to let it be
and
fun.
yeah, and I think I got to a point where it wasn't fun, and I was like, oh, I don't want it to be like this, because when I first started, I loved it so much, and I thought, no, I've just burnt out, and it was burnout, because after 2 weeks of taking that break, oh, thanks,
She
Beth.
said she would have freaked out if you just
Oh,
vanished.
yeah. Well, I did put it out because there's nothing worse than someone just disappearing, and I didn't want to do that, because you kind of, people do worry, and YouTube is like your second family in a way, because you meet so many wonderful people,
You do,
and they
you
do
really
care
do.
about you, and you don't realize how much they care. And I did realize when I left, because people are like, "Oh, you okay? Is everything okay? We'll be here when you get back." And it was
Mhm.
like, "Oh God, that's so lovely." So yeah, I was glad to come back, but I just need to put boundaries in. So I did put a boundary in, Deb, about like saying I'm only doing one live a week, and that's so not happened. But that's only because I just love being with people, and I genuinely do like being with people.
I
Yeah,
understand. I usually try to do 2 a week, and it is, it's not that it's work as much as it is, it's not even stressful. It
no,
just it's a drain on your energy.
yeah, yes, it is, and you forget that sometimes. And Deb, let me ask you, because how long have you been on that? Was it you've been
I've only
6,
been like 3 or 4
3?
months.
And how are you finding it? Do you ever feel you get burnt out, or
I
you got
haven't felt
boundaries?
burnt out, but I do sometimes get low on energy. And then
Yeah,
I wasn't feeling well for several weeks, and
yeah,
that was partly, there were some things draining my energy, but then I guess because I was run down, I went ahead and
yeah.
my allergies turned into bronchitis. And
Mm.
so that I have to be conscious of the fact that I'm not as young as I used to be, and I just can't do some things I used to do. I don't have that stamina.
Well, no, I think that with myself, I feel like my stamina has completely gone since. Hi, Kristen. um, from a year of doing this. I think I've aged a lot. That's one thing I was saying. My late nights are terrible, because I do stay up late sometimes, because you have ideas in your head about, and I'll wake up sometimes and think, oh, I've got an idea for me and Tangi to do a Banji video.
Oh,
And I'll be like messaging her and saying, what do you think of this? And but it's all good. I have to say, it's been one of the most life-changing experiences that I've ever had, doing YouTube, and I don't regret a single moment. And this year was wonderful in actually going meeting people that you speak to on here. And Richie came down end of August, and that was such a lovely experience.
it was
To
really
actually,
nice to see you in the same room.
yeah. Oh, it was fab. It was just nice to, because we'd been speaking for a year, a month or so, and to actually see him was like amazing. It was fab. So it's really nice when you do get a chance to actually meet up as well.
It is. It's
You
nice,
know,
and it's nice to get together. I mean, we can get together like this,
yeah,
but the energy is so much different when we can be in person
yeah,
together.
definitely.
So,
Yeah, it's
it's great.
it's amazing. It's a wonderful thing,
So it was
definitely.
lovely to see you
Oh,
together
thank
on
you.
camera. So
I didn't want him to go. I would have kept him here, but he had to go.
yes, yes.
But no, it was
Well, and he's a
lovely.
lovely person anyway.
I
So
love Richie. I absolutely adore that guy. I think he's one of the nicest people I've ever met, actually. I just really like him. He's got such a nice energy about him, and he's so funny. I can't tell you that. I was laughing so much. I don't, his humor is just amazing. I couldn't stop laughing. He's a great guy.
so, and that to me is, if you're comfortable enough with people to laugh with them,
Yeah.
then that is really, Ben is much taller in real life.
That he say that because I used to say to him, everyone think I'm like so much smaller than everybody else. I'm really short compared to most people that I
Monra's
was
here.
thinking about. I'm all right. Bless
Um,
him.
aw.
Bless him.
So, um, you've been, so you've had your hiatus,
Yeah.
if I can say that word, hiatus, and now you're back, hopefully being a little more balanced
Yes. Yeah.
and letting it be fun and not work.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel I've got that balance better than I did before, definitely.
So,
And I think,
and
sorry, Deb, no.
I was just going to ask you, you just had, was Kelly, wasn't it, that you had on your
Yes.
show? And
Yes.
that was that your first live since you've been back?
No,
Or
I've had a few with Gerald,
Mhm.
and oh gosh, no, I'm trying to think actually. Who else
I
I've
mean,
had?
on your channel, was that your first?
Oh, yes, it was on my channel. And I'd spoke to Kelly, and we'd spoken a while about doing a live, and I said, I don't know what to do, Kelly. What should we do? And she came up with a great idea of, well, let's talk about laughter. I was like, do you know what, Kelly? That's a really, really good idea. And we get the giggles terribly on Gerald's channel when we're on there together. Idea. And so that first live,
Yeah.
and we did laugh. I was worried that we weren't going to laugh in the live, but we did, and it was so much fun. And that was
Well,
just,
that's good. That's good. I love to laugh myself. So if you find someone that you get the giggles with, then
yeah,
that's just like the best.
yeah. The trouble is, we get the giggles at the most wrong time. It's like when Gerald's
Of
being
course.
serious, we get the giggles.
Yes. So,
But it's a wonderful thing, isn't it? I always think when you're laughing, it's your soul laughing and it's your soul smiling, which is always a wonderful thing.
plus, in this community, if your friends are all psychics,
Yeah.
then it's really hard to hide things
Yes.
from people.
I know. And you know what? I always giggle when I'm nervous. And I think at the very beginning I giggled a lot when I was on live, but it was nerves. But it was, yeah. So then I was called Blushing Ben because I was constantly blushing
Yes, I
on the
remember
live.
that.
Yeah. And I still do it now. But no, it's all good fun. It's great.
Well, you do it for all of us because like there's very little that embarrasses me. It's very difficult to offend me. It can be done.
Yeah.
You have to be really trying. So, I rarely blush anymore. So the fact that you can still do it is,
It doesn't take much, to be honest, Deb.
it's a prerequisite for a giggle to be at the wrong time. So
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
And see, Gerald's trying to make you giggle.
He does it all the time.
So that's all right.
Bless his heart. Oh.
Bye, Richie.
Oh, bye, Richie. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Bless him.
Hang on. Gerald and Justin had me laughing so hard one time I almost had to leave the live stream.
No. It's, I mean, when you're laughing that hard as well on a live, and I remember once I just couldn't stop, and I was like, how do I get back to composing this? And I'd got a guest, can't remember who it was now, and I remember thinking, I've got to compose myself, I've got to get back to normal because the guest's going to freak out. Oh, thank you, Cheryl.
Oh, that is absolutely true, Peter.
Oh, thank
He
you.
has grown into his role as a professional tarot.
Do you know, Deb, talking of lives, I really struggled. I didn't want to do a live for ages, you know. I was petrified of doing a live. I just thought my channel would be recorded content because I thought,
Yes.
oh, I'm too nervous to do a live, you know. And then I was worried about reading because I didn't think I was good enough. Because although I could read for myself, I just thought it was like my thoughts, and you can understand your own thoughts. But oh my God, what happens if I get it wrong with other people? You know, what happens if what I say doesn't resonate?
Well, that's why you run the little banner that says "for entertainment purposes only" across the bottom.
Yeah, that is the best.
And you say during your broadcast, because we are reading energy.
Yeah.
So energy can change, and people can not follow the energy.
Yeah.
There are certain people that just do not ever follow the energy. That they're completely unpredictable. So, and we are, as far as anybody that might be looking in that doesn't understand, would care is that we are just playing cards.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
I also had that problem too, Ben. I didn't feel like I could read.
yeah.
I mean, I know I can read, but I didn't feel like it was good enough to be in public.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel, Deb. And I thought, oh, well, I've read for people in public before, you know, at work and stuff, but gosh, doing it online is a totally different experience. And I was so worried that I wouldn't make sense to people. And it's that fear of like, you know, once if someone says, oh, you don't know how to do it, you can't do it, you know, I was always worried about that, I suppose.
Well, I always have trouble feeling like I don't want to tell somebody what to do.
Yeah, I'm the same.
They need to make their own choice.
Yeah.
I can tell them what the energy looks like.
Yeah.
I can maybe see what's bothering them or that something is bothering them.
Yeah.
But it's not my place to tell someone what to do.
Yeah, I feel the same. And I think you're the same as me as well, Deb. Whereas, like, I'd feel me and you could walk into a room and we could pick up on someone's energy by just speaking to them and seeing their facial expressions, which a lot of people can't do. And I've only learned this recently. And I find I read better when I have the person in front of me and I can see them because I can pick up more of what they're feeling.
Yes.
And I believe we've spoke about this, haven't we? That's being an empath, isn't it?
Yes.
But you know, the community is so wonderful at making you feel safe and good. And Gerald, I have to say, was amazing when I first did a reading. My biggest fear is that
she's saying that she felt inadequate, like she didn't have the cards memorized, which is something we don't have to do. That being afraid of telling someone something that will cause harm. And I have had that fear too. I think probably anyone who takes this seriously and doesn't look at it as just a game does not want to tell anyone anything that could cause harm.
No. And you know, we were saying this when you see a card that comes up and you're like, oh, it's how you communicate a message, isn't it?
It may be something that you'd feel like the person asking the question doesn't want aired out in public.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? It's a talent in itself to try and put a message across in a way that doesn't offend or upset anybody, I think. But we were saying, weren't we, Deb? Get the oracle deck out because that helps.
Yes, and the oracle can deliver the same message in a slightly softer way, so that it's still the same message.
Yeah,
but it's not in your face, blunt.
And Deb, did you find that you use oracle and tarot together? You know,
you are good at supporting people's natural talents, and
yeah, definitely, Gerald, you are.
Gerald's good at doing that, and I always feel like one of my strengths is I'm a good cheerleader.
Yeah,
I like to let people know when they're doing good.
Yeah, well, I have to say, when I first started, Gerald was one of the first people that ever interviewed me. And I've always said he was the most gracious interviewer. And he really helped me, you know, in the beginning because I was so nervous about doing live readings and stuff. But he really supported me. And he's such a wonderful person in this community because he really helps you and he supports everybody in the same way. And I think that's amazing to have someone like that. And, you know, he gave me the confidence to do readings in lives. And the same with Tanji, she did as well. And I love doing readings with people like that. And you, Deb, because we did readings for the first time the other week. And it was an amazing experience because it was just so comfortable, wasn't it? You know, and our readings followed on from each other. And that's the other amazing thing. One of my friends who was a medium says you're invited too.
I'm trying to let the noise subside. Deanne said one of her friends who is a medium says you're invited to whatever, and then follows up with, it's up to the seeker what they do with the insight. And
Yeah.
that's true. That's a very tactful way of delivering something that may be unsavory.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that, Deanne. I like it. There are ways, aren't there, certain things? He is
Gerald is
people.
bona fide.
Yeah. He's fab.
We can attest to that.
Oh,
Thank you, Beth. She says that one of my strengths is
Good.
listening to people, that I don't try to jump ahead. I
Do you
do
know-
listen, and I do try to wait. I do jump ahead sometimes in my head, but only to a supporting question that
Well,
I think.
Deb, I have to say, because I met Deb first time the other week on Gerald's channel, and I have to say, everybody, Deb is one of the most loveliest people. And
Well,
straight
thank you.
away, Deb, I felt comfortable with you, absolutely comfortable. And I joined this live half an hour before, and I can't tell you how quick the time went, because we were just talking away and getting to know each other. And you are you can just tell how lovely a person you are, because
Thank
not
you.
only do you listen, but you give great advice. And yeah, it's lovely. I'm so glad I've met you, because you know it's so nice to meet people like yourself.
That's lovely of you to say. I do try to listen. I try to be an active listener, so that, because I don't want to be somebody who just listens with the view to respond.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I don't want to already have my argument in my head.
Yeah,
When there is no argument, this is a discussion.
yeah. It's a natural thing with you, though, Deb. I don't think you have to think about it. It feels natural. I think you just do it naturally, and that a lot of people don't. You know, people hear what you're saying, but they're not listening to what you're saying, and that's it's a
Yes.
gift, isn't it, I think.
Yes. And I have always, for instance, I don't necessarily see a person.
Yeah.
I don't see their outward features.
Yes.
I see them. And
So,
I have, I may not know what color your eyes are, or what color your hair is. I may not even know what your skin color is,
yeah.
because that's not what is important to me.
No.
It's what's important to me is who you are.
Yeah.
On the inside.
Yes. I love that, Deb, because that's how I see people, as souls. I don't look at them and think they're a man, they're a woman, they're this, they're that. I just see them as them. They're a being.
As a person, yes.
Yeah.
As a soul, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Let's see. Let's catch up on chat a little bit here. Sherry said there's nothing like reading with others and supporting each other's readings. And that is an amazing feeling, that then you know you got it right.
Absolutely.
You have Gerald blushing.
Yes, that answers good. I know, I'm asking him questions tomorrow. Exciting.
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you very much. Let's see. Cards are paired together, whether on my table with different decks or with two or more readers pulling cards. Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think that was a brilliant example of that. When we were on Gerald's channel together with Richie, that the four of us had cards. It was a cohesive, coherent reading.
Yeah. And it's amazing, that is.
And that's even with us using different decks and changing positions.
Yeah.
So that's when you know that you might be onto something.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so spooky every time it happens, because they do sync up. The synchronicity's there, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yes.
It's like, wow. You know, it's amazing.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Let's see. Oh, thank you, Deanne. Deanne said I'm an awesome listener. Sherry says, I count myself blessed that I call. Oh, that's sweet of you to say, Sherry. Thank you so much. And Sherry has been on my channel a couple of times.
And can I,
And
Sherry, I've dropped you an email, by the way, because I've been Sherry was asking me about them going on her channel, and I've been meaning to email, and I've just so you know, I've dropped you an email. But yes, it's been on your.
It is a skill. It's not something that you, well, maybe you can be born with it, but it always can have improvement. You can always learn to listen better.
Yeah.
Or listen in a more active way.
Yeah.
Let's see. Beth said, can you imagine if world leaders and people in power saw others that way? We would not be in this divisive mess that we're in if they did.
Yeah, I can never understand. Do you know, even at school, I was always drawn to people who were either bullied or, you know, were different. And I say different, I mean like people who were outcasts at school. I was so drawn to them because I wanted them to be part of things, you know. And I think we were talking about this, weren't we, Deb? And we're very similar. I used to grow up thinking I can't understand why people don't consider other people's feelings, or they don't get why they're upset. But you don't realise it's a gift, actually, being an empath. And I say I'm an empath because I think that's what I've identified it as. Is that
you have to learn how to cope with it and how to process the information that you are getting.
Yeah. And it can be overwhelming, can't it, sometimes?
It
You
can.
know, it's like you can take on other people's worries and it upsets you then. You know, it's hard to get the right balance, isn't it, I think, sometimes. But as much as it can be hard, it is a gift, I think.
And that I think that's something that many of us in this community are working on, is looking for the right balance.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
we are sometimes over, and I think that is one of the biggest advantages to having this community, is that we all do it so we all understand what we're going through, and we're here to support each other wherever we are on that journey.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Kelly, you'll have to go back to the beginning. Was it at the beginning we were talking
Yes,
about?
we were talking about you us laughing, Kelly.
Yes, and we said terrible things about you, so definitely go and watch.
Should be going back now thinking what?
No, we didn't say anything terrible about you.
We were talking about laughter, Kelly.
Yes.
She does make me laugh. I can't, every show I'm on with her, we end up laughing about something.
Yes.
She's lovely.
So, and Kelly is also the idea girl, so she's...
Oh, she is, totally. Yes. I mean, it was her idea to do the laughter. And it was it was like, oh, I said to her at the time, I was like, Kelly, that's such a good idea. I thought, because that's what I needed that particular week as well. So it was really good.
Beth says that she's always been drawn to the underdog. I was shy to the point of paralysis, and once my third grade teacher bullied a boy, and I stood up and yelled at her. Wow. That took an amazing amount of courage for you to do. I know it did, but that's, you know, it's hard to watch somebody suffering.
Yeah,
it really is.
I totally agree, and it's wrong, isn't it, to just stand there and do.
Lauren says, I have been out of balance. The death of the Queen has created so much sadness for so many. That's what I keep thinking it is. And I would agree with you. I think Ben would too. That even today, when I was watching the procession this morning, it was this morning here in the States, that the profound sadness it just permeated everything.
Yeah, it does, and it's a double-edged sword, because you've got the sadness of that, and then a little bit of anxiety about not knowing what's coming now, and how things are going to be. I totally understand, Lauren. strange times, isn't it?
It is.
Really,
It's a strange time and an historic time. I think
yeah,
that it's important
yeah,
to be aware of the changing of the guard
yeah,
and what that means in not only locally but on the world stage.
yeah.
It's an exciting time to be
Yes,
alive.
yes, definitely, and that's a good way to look at it, Deb. Definitely.
So,
And,
I'm notorious for believing that everything is an adventure.
yeah.
So
I think it's good to think like that because, you know, otherwise, if you think the other way, it's good to have that. I always think it's good to push the boundaries with yourself and do something that makes you a little bit nervous because it helps you grow, doesn't it? You know,
yes,
that's what I think.
it does.
Definitely.
I that's what we're about is
Yeah,
we're trying to grow
yeah,
and be the best humans we can be now and
yeah,
pave the way
yes,
for the next generation of better humans.
yeah. I agree, 100%. I love this. This is fab. I love this talk.
I never know where my talks are going to go.
I love
And
it. I love it.
so
And I was saying, Deb, as well, I love your stories. You know, they're so
thank
meaningful
you.
and you get so much from them. Yeah, I love it. And this
I'm
is what
working
these,
on one for this week, and I just have to choose because I have like a heading of what I'm the title, but I have several stories that would fit that.
yeah,
So I'm working on narrowing that down.
I
And
love listening to you because the way you tell stories, you know, I'm always intrigued with what you're going to say. And you remind me of my grandmother actually when she used to tell me stories, and it's the same.
oh,
It
thank
reminds
you.
me of that. It's lovely.
Andrea's saying the beginning of a huge shift in isms.
Yeah,
Imperialism will never be the same. It won't. And I feel in my bones that
yeah,
imperialism is passing away.
yeah, yeah. I'd agree with that.
Um, Kelly said she's been up very early watching
Oh, yeah,
the um, the RCMP have been doing,
oh, this is
and
amazing.
that's not been televised here in the States. So I may look it up online later
Yeah,
and see because I know that this is affecting
a lot of people,
a
isn't it?
lot of people in a lot of countries
It's a huge thing, isn't it, really?
in the Commonwealth. Yes,
Yeah.
it is a huge thing. Let's see. We're waiting with bated breath to find out if Kelly likes spearmint. Oh,
I'm
wait,
intrigued.
there's an answer.
Not weird at all,
Yes.
really. She'd be laughing her head off now. I
Yes,
can just see her. She's got an infectious laugh, Kelly has. I
she
don't know what it is,
does.
but when she starts laughing, it really makes me laugh.
Oral traditions are the way ancient truths and traditions have been shared for thousands of years for Indigenous people. Exactly. And I feel a connection to a number of Indigenous peoples,
Yeah,
not only here in the States, but worldwide. And I feel a connection to the organic connection to the earth
yeah.
that the Indigenous peoples of all countries had and to some extent are still practicing
Mm.
today.
I love learning about all this stuff, you know. What you're trying to say. I love that.
I am going to have to see if that can be translated. Next time I watch your channel, Kelly, I'm going to attempt to smell the spearmint.
It's smell-o-vision, isn't it, with Kelly then? Beth's
That's
obviously having that. Smell-o-vision. What do you smell when you watch me, Beth?
Yes, let us know. The RCMP gifted the Queen one of her favorite horses from the stables. I'm not going to attempt that name.
No, I couldn't do it either, Deb.
In Saskatchewan, Canada. She rode her for 18 years to troop in the colors. That is a high honor.
Wow.
If we are alive today, we all were Indigenous at some point in our soul's journey.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. Definitely.
Wait.
I'm going to try to be really
Gerald's going to try to be really quiet and serious.
That will take 5 seconds, Gerald.
Yes. I think this might be the reason for the spearmint, because she chews gum. She does chew gum. It keeps her calm. Yeah. And I never thought about it, but that could have a spearmint smell.
Yes. I must try chewing gum, actually. It keeps me calm, chewing gum. It does.
Deanne said when one of her brothers was about 8, he was talking to their mom on the phone and said, "Did you eat one of those gross candies she has there? I can smell it." Isn't that funny?
That's strange, isn't it?
That is one of the Claires. I don't remember but I do know that it is one of the Claires. I have a strange ability. I always wear shoes and socks because I can step on something and taste it.
Wow.
And it's not necessarily pleasant.
No, that's so strange. I love things like this, though, hearing these kind of, sometimes you're somewhere and you have a smell of something that hits you and you don't know where it's come from. Well, they say it's either, I don't know whether it's
do that. Like my mom comes with sandalwood.
Really?
Yeah. That's just, I know it's her if I smell sandalwood and nobody's burning any.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I love that.
Oh, Beth is trying to find her great Indigenous grandmother. She believes she was Canadian Blackfoot. That will be cool when you find her.
I read that as Bigfoot at first, and I was like, Bigfoot? And then when you said Blackfoot.
Blackfoot.
Yeah.
Is a tribal name.
Oh, okay.
That's like Sioux or Cherokee or Navajo. Blackfoot is a tribe.
That's interesting.
4 horses led the procession rode by RCMP, all horses that were part of the Queen's stables.
Actually, that's some proof conversation.
Yes. Ooh. I know that about the gum. Yes.
Yeah. Do that one. And she had eaten.
Deanne's mother had eaten the candy.
Well, that's Claire Audio. Is it Claire Audio there? Wow.
So I think that when we are connected to other people, that oftentimes that happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes even people we're not formally connected to, it can happen. Someone we just have a connection that will come in a scent or a taste.
Yeah. No, brilliant. I agree there, Deb. And I was driving to work the one day and they were talking on the radio about sometimes when you meet certain people, and they were talking about it in scientific terms.
Bye, Peter.
You pick up, bye, Peter. You can pick up a vibe as soon as you come into close contact with them. And there's like something like this, I don't know, the aura, when it meets and there's not a match there, that's when you feel you're not kind of vibing, you're not kind of connected at all with that person. It's really interesting.
So Claire Alliance is the
Oh, is that what it
The
is?
smell.
Brownian.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the smell. The phantom smells.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess, are you, how is your time? I know it's much later there than it is here.
No, I'm fine. It's 8 o'clock here, so it's not my bedtime yet. You're okay.
Are you open to asking the chat if they'd like to ask questions, or
Yeah,
if they'd like a
absolutely.
card or a reading? So if anyone would like a card or a reading, we're open to doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I was just about to put a question and I got a pop-up in front of it. Okay. I read that or it's not a question, it's a comment. I read that the queen's beekeeper told the royal bees that the queen had passed. The queen had a relationship with her bees.
Wow.
Up to the story.
Oh,
And I heard that too, that they were informed of her
yeah.
passing. So,
Oh, wow.
okay. Juno has hi, Juno. Juno popped in just to ask a question. So.
My best friend today is thinking about moving from Indiana to Arizona.
Okay.
We should actually make the move. Ah, right, okay. Cards. I'm terrible. I always love smelling the.
I'm getting in October that she will move. Now, times are a bit tricky on the other side. So, but I have asked times from my pendulum before, and my pendulum has been correct. So, also, this is for entertainment purposes only. I get that Tilly is going to move from Indiana to Arizona to be near you.
Well, that's really interesting, actually, Dad, because mine really does follow on from that. So I got the 8 of Wands, which tells me that there's still work to do before the move occurs. It's not going to happen straight away. Got the Hanged Man there, so it's just, you know, at the moment it's in a kind of, it's not moving forward just yet. But then I got the 6 of Wands, which is victory, so it will happen.
Yes.
But not. It's just going to take some time.
But yes, that's what I got. That it wouldn't be right away. That there are things that need to be done. Let me just see what my cards say.
I'll pull an oracle card as well.
I got the frog, which is, or the toad, rather, and that is for joy. So, yes, I think that she is coming to be near you. It will be a joyful time, and it's going to be the release of oppression. This is Charlotte Perkins Gilman, and she stands for freedom.
Wow.
So, yes, she does have some planning to do, and she does maybe. She's not going to be able to come as quickly as she wants, but she will be there. Hi, Viviani.
Hi, Viviani.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
Birthday.
Yes, for entertainment purposes only.
Is it Viviani's birthday?
Yes, she's here.
Oh,
Today is her birthday, yes.
Oh, happy birthday, Viviani. I've just pulled a card for an oracle card for Juno. Oh, get ready for new horizons, faraway place. So yeah, someone's moving to it. And then this came up. Shout to the heavens with happiness. So it is something that's going to bring you joy.
Yes. It's for both of you. Both of you are going to have joy. I hope that helps, Juno. And dry your tears. There's no need to cry. I know you're happy. And thank you for asking the question. Kelly has a question.
Oh,
I have been seeing 1111 and 111 for the past several days. Does my mom have a message for me? Her name is Sharon.
okay.
You're welcome, Juno.
Oh, welcome, Gina. Yeah, Kelly's had this a lot because she was telling me last week she was seeing 1111. It was constant. We were in the live and it was just 1111. Let's have a look.
Okay, I got your question, Deanne.
Okay.
Angel numbers. They are angel numbers, Lauren. Flickering lights and everything. So she is definitely around you.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Get one more. Whenever you're ready, Ben.
So yeah, I have got something, Kelly, and I don't know if this resonates with you. From looking at the cards that I've pulled, I feel like your mum is trying to get in touch with you about helping a gentleman near you who might be going through something difficult at the moment. And the reason I say that, I've pulled the Ten of Swords, which is next to the King of Wands. So the way I'm seeing this is that some gentleman is struggling with something at the moment, and I think your mum is possibly saying that there's something you could help this person with, in whatever way, whether it's talking to them or just being there to support them, because it feels like they're fighting a bit of a battle on their own, and they need that support from you. Does that make sense, Kelly, at all? That's what I'm picking up from this. My husband is a fire sign. Oh, okay. And I picked the Seven of Wands, which feels like, they're kind of battling against some sort of elements here, and it's just been there to support them through this time. That's what I'm picking up.
So, hi, Natalie. Natalie Nola is here.
Hi, Natalie.
Kelly, first I got the Shaolin Master to be graceful in movement and action. So that suggests to me that there's something underneath going on. Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. I think your mother wants you to exchange energy. So I think it's definitely what Ben was saying, that around a male figure, that you need to create abundance. And this doesn't have to be, this can be abundance in anything. It can be abundance of love. It can be abundance of material things. It's just the exchange of energy will help lead you to abundance.
Yeah.
Here she says his stepsister is really causing a lot of issues, threatening to take her life and threatening him.
Oh, that makes sense in my
But
reading then as well. Yeah.
then I got the White Witch, which is to be the light. And I think that you need to just be the light, be there and be supportive and give him what he needs to carry on, because, okay, it's dealing with his father's estate.
Okay.
She's bipolar. You be the light, be the strength, be graceful, because all of this is in the face of drama.
Yeah.
Marie Masquerade, she's talking about glamour, intrigue, and drama, and that is your sister-in-law. That's his sister. You, though, you be the light and be graceful, and through your exchange of energy with him, trust yourself and exchange energy, and that will help to guide him to make, like, you be the pole, like the mast of the ship. You are the stable thing, and that will help him deal with this, because it's something is he the executor of the estate? If he is the executor of the state, his decision stands.
Yeah.
So just be there and support, because that's going to be your job now, and that's what she's telling you, is that he's been your rock for a long time, and it's your turn to be his.
Yeah. Oh, she says this makes so much sense. I had a dream last week. My Y'all. Oh yeah. Wake up. She told me about this.
That's, yes, and that's it. He has been there for you through all of your trying times, and now it's time for you to be there while he has to deal with this. It's
that's, yeah, and that was beautiful reading, Deb. This card's lovely that you've got, by the way.
very on flash. So I am Solicito. I hope I'm saying your name right. I got your question. Okay. But yeah, it's just be there for him, and I
Yeah.
hope things get better. I feel like they will. It's just a matter of navigating.
Yeah, I feel it will get better, Kelly, because I mean, I'm looking at the picture that the last one that I pulled, and he seems victorious to me. He's got this, like, dealing with this at the bottom, shouting and stuff, but I feel he'll come out victorious, and certainly with your support, he will.
Okay, I hope that helps. I know, and you know, it's a tough time, and it's just a thing that we have to get through.
Yeah.
Deanne asked about cards for upcoming meetings this week. The meetings are related to family matters.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Meetings. Kelly, and let us know that everything turns out okay. That
Yeah, I do.
and if she needs professional help, maybe he can help her to get it. Yes. Says to remember that you are not responsible for the behavior of others, no matter how much they want to blame you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Okay.
He is the executor. She's not a blood relative.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got to do what he's got to do.
Okay. Shall I go ahead, Deb?
Go ahead, be
Yeah.
my guest.
So, hi, Deanne. Thank you for your question. So, these. Oh, bye, Gerald, and see you tomorrow. Not yet. So, Deanne, I've got nothing better. I feel like so I've got the 9 of Wands here. I feel like it's a nurturing situation that you're trying. These meetings outcome is something that you're trying to do as a protective thing for someone, possibly. I get the feeling it's related to a younger member of the family, potentially, and you're being asked to have strength with the decisions and not to rush in, because the oracle card I picked was go slow and take time. So it feels like maybe you want a quick outcome to something, but you need to stay strong and just let things kind of unfold a bit, but stay strong to what it is that you want out of the meetings. But I'd be intrigued to know if it is something to do with a younger member of the family. But Dan, I always pick up such a maternal feeling with you, and it's a lovely, lovely feeling. And I always feel that whatever Deanne has in mind is always going to be the most loveliest thing, if you know what I mean, because she's such a loving person. So just stick to your guns and stay strong, but try not to rush things. Just take things slow. Oh, it is about Max and Vela. Yeah,
She
yeah.
asked, is that a sailboat on the oracle card?
It is. Yeah. I think it is anyway. Yeah.
Looks like a Viking sailboat.
Yeah. I hope that makes sense, Tian.
I think, or I feel like someone is trying to kind of run over everybody else to get to whatever the good thing is. But I love this Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands, look at her. Is she not determined?
Yeah.
All that fire. She is not going to let this happen. But also, I did get that younger energy that there is someone that's trying to be just as fiery, but no, she is not going to put up with it. And that could be you. And the oracle card that I pulled is the Elder, to move beyond ancestral patterns. It's time to move the family matter into the present and get ready for the future. Bring them forward. And so I think that all in all, the family meetings will be productive, but beware of this juvenile energy that is, or immature energy. But remember that you are the Queen of Wands. You can do it.
Love that.
I hope that helps, Deanne, or that it even makes sense.
Yeah, it looks like it does. I love the feedback.
Okay. You're welcome, Deanne. Andrea asks, what shifts do you see around all of the emerging viruses this year?
Oh, that's a good question.
The viruses that are, because the permafrost is melting.
Yeah.
Releasing new old viruses.
Oh, gosh.
that have been dormant for maybe thousands of years. Oh, Deanne said 1,000% right on.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So,
Thanks, Deanne.
blessings and good luck with the meetings.
Yes.
And forewarned is forearmed.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, this deck doesn't want to answer this question, so we'll try something else. Okay, this is the one. Whenever you're ready, Ben.
Yeah, I don't really know how to read this, but I'm going to give it a go and just tell you what I think. I've got two leaders here, two kings, and I feel emerging viruses. There needs to be some kind of balance here, and I don't. It kind of feels like it feels like world leaders to me, and getting some balance right. Helping people more with this. And I say that because I don't know whether viruses get out of hand in places, and that's why they get contracted different all over the world, like the coronavirus did. But it almost feels like we need to work together to get the right balance in life and to make sure that we support and stop viruses where we can. I'm just going to pull an oracle card, a bit of a clarifier.
I'm sorry, Gertrude. I hope that your dog, your little Ginger, is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gertrude.
She stepped on her left foot. I am always stepping on my babies, so or they try to trip me. It's not unusual to hear me yell, "Stop trying to trip me."
Oh, bless.
So, was that?
So
Did you have anything else?
I've got the oracle card, which is
Okay.
reflect and redirect energy. So it just feels that we need to perhaps put more measures in place and support each other to stop these viruses continually happening. That's how it feels. That's
Yes.
what I'm picking up.
Yes.
How about you, Deb? What's your...
Just quickly before Beth says maybe first world leaders and third world leaders being at cross purposes, not aided by poverty. That is so true.
I like that, Beth. Yeah.
I think that what you got goes along with what I got. First, I got Yumiko Kurahashi. She stands for transformation, but the key word is masks. Then I got Shirley Jackson, who stands for family, but it can also be family horrors, bad things coming up in the family. And finally, I got the Lantern, which is guidance, instinct, and trust. So we know what to do to deal with it, but we can, put all those measures back into practice so that, yes, maybe the last pandemic is mostly behind us, but those practices should stay with us because we need to be on guard because these viruses will attempt to spread just the same way that the previous couple of viruses have. But we know their energy can't, if we read it correctly, their energy can't overtake what we know. We just have to cooperate and be willing to do it. Maybe unlike some of what happened the last time. Butterfly Kisses Healing is here.
Hello.
Hi, butterfly. Um, um, Gertrude said that she did some Reiki on her dog's
Oh,
leg, and so hopefully she'll be feeling better. Um,
oh, bless.
okay. I hope that's helpful, Andrea. I don't know if that answered the question. I feel like it answered more about our response to the viruses than the
Yeah,
actual energy. But I think we're going to have to wait and see.
yeah.
Is the
You just never
feeling
know.
there?
Yeah, I feel the same, Deb. It's one of those things, isn't it, that it's scary. You don't know, do you, really? How much of it is, you know?
That yes, and also we don't know. These are ancient viruses that are being released, so no one now has any resistance built
No.
up. So we may have to be very careful, or they could be nothing. We just don't know.
No.
So I think we're just going to have to wait and find out. Okay.
Agreed.
Solicito, I hope I'm saying that correctly, asked for a general career reading. Oh,
Okay.
thank you. Be sure and go and subscribe to Ben. There is over there. Um,
Oh, I took it the wrong way.
his link is in the show notes below, and you can subscribe to him and be sure and um, get the notifications so that you can know whenever he's dropping those very entertaining videos. And also, he does a lot of walkthroughs and um, initial impressions of different decks and things too.
Thank you, Deb.
Okay, now creating art on items.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's the part-time job is creating art on items.
Yes.
But the full-time job, so there's also a full-time job. So um, do you want to know about both of them or either one, or does thinking? Oh, good, Juno. You will not be disappointed. Your side job, you want to know about that. I felt like
Oh,
that's the one you wanted to know about. Okay, your creative job.
thank you, Juno. Right, okay. I've got a really good reading here. What's the name, sorry? Am I saying that right? Solicito?
Solicito.
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 I'm
Are we
terrible with
saying
names.
that right?
I'm so
Solicito?
sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Okay, so well, I pulled an oracle card and I've got blessings are showering your life. So it feels to me that this is your career's going absolutely fine. You've got your full-time work, but you've got this side passion. Now, I feel that you perhaps would like to go into this side passion as a more full-time thing. And I've got the Sun card here, so you really are enjoying what you're doing at the moment. I
That's what
really do. Go on.
Solicito means, son.
Oh
That's
wow, yes, of course it does. How interesting. Synchronicity, you say.
little son, if I'm right. Little son.
Yeah. And I have got the the Eight of Wheels. So it tells me that you can go down that route of your passion. There's a lot of work to do, but I think it's work that you enjoy. And because of that, I think you'll be really successful. We've got the Two of Wands here. The Two of Wands to me usually means branching out, breaking away from something that you've always done. You can see these two are locking horns here. This could be that feeling of not quite sure whether to go fully into your passion or to still hang back here. It feels there's a bit of an undecisive thing here. But I think if you work hard, you really can, achieve your passion there. And I've only got good cards for you, so go with what feels right for you. Go with your gut, but the outcome I think is really good. So I love that. It was a positive reading. I love it when you get good cards for somebody.
Beth
Love you.
has to leave.
Oh, bye, Beth.
Well,
Thanks for
thank you for
coming.
coming by and spending this time with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I got to start with. I got the King of Wands. Now he's a noble figure. He's conscientious and strong. I feel like that's you. That's your energy. You are having good luck with the creative part, your creative job. That is, it's you're on the verge of celebration with it because you are the star. You are the star, and the oracle card I pulled is the shaman, to trust higher forces. So this is the thing that you feel drawn to do because it's where you should be. Trust it. Trust it because you are doing what your name suggests. You are shining. It's where your passion is. It's where your energy is. So I believe the cards are telling you to pursue it wholeheartedly to the extent that you want to do it. It's all in your hands.
Oh, that's beautiful, Deb.
Thank you. Okay, we have one more. I'm working hard for my family. They are my purpose.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes. They're not closed yet. If you feel like you would like to ask a question, Butterfly Kisses, if Ben's energy is still.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I have Gertrude is next, and then Butterfly Kisses if she has. Gertrude says, talking about laughter, hang on, I play daily with the dogs. Ginger, the bigger one, would give me a look of near contempt, like she is so crazy. It's unbelievable. That's giving you some joy. And I think that is something that you need to stay centered and grounded. Gertrude, Gertrude is, I don't know if you've been over to her channel at all, but she is really coming into her own.
Yes, I think so too.
We're all really proud of you. They do keep her grounded. Okay. So a general reading for Gertrude. I'm going to do this one. Okay, I got your question, Butterfly Kisses.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Am I right to go, Deb?
Go ahead.
So, Gertrude, yeah, I feel like you're on a spiritual journey at the moment that's really coming into its own. I've got the Magician here, and I think you're really starting to manifest things and go very deep within with your spiritual journey. It almost feels like you've had an awakening or some sort of deep conscious feelings of late that are really working well for you. We've also got the Seven of Swords here, so just be careful of your energy, that you're not expelling too much energy. You know, take time, enjoy the journey, enjoy spirituality. Don't try and learn everything too quickly. Just take it slow and at your own pace. And I've also got the seven of Wheels, so it almost feels that this could be related to your channel, that this is something that you're growing, it's becoming, it's something that's a part of you that is helping you on your spiritual journey, and you're cultivating things, and things are growing in a big way for you. But has this been quite a big year for you, Gertrude, in terms of spirituality? I don't know how long you've had your channel for, but it feels like, same as how I think I felt when I started my channel. It's such a great way to connect with people, and you're really raising your own vibration and connecting with people, which is a great thing. I also have here solitude in silence, peace prevails. And I really feel like, like when you meditate and you're in your own silent space, you get a lot of ideas and inspirations. And I feel like you're being told to continue that work if that's something that you've been doing. And I've got here rejuvenating rain. Couldn't say that then. Clear the past and heal the present. So if you've had any, it feels like if you've had any difficult experience in the past, that we need to try and move on, and heal the past in order to move forward in the present. And I feel like your spiritual practice is helping you with that. I hope that makes sense, Gertrude, for you. Thank you for your question.
Gertrude, I got first a clockwork pumpkin. That's a wonderful idea, an aha moment. And I feel like that's your channel. That's where you belong. That's what you should be doing. Then I got the Death and the Maiden, which is an invasion, boundaries violated, and dominance. So I think you maybe need to set some boundaries, that you're feeling maybe a little overwhelmed, or that something isn't quite right. And so it may just be that you need to set a boundary. And I don't know whether the boundary is on a spiritual level, or if it's with a person. But I almost feel that it's on a spiritual level, because I got the Eclipse Mermaid, and she says there's a powerful energy shift. And that goes along with what Ben was saying, that the energy is shifting you toward where you need to be. If you feel like it's going too fast, say so. Tell your guides that they need to slow down if they need to slow down. You are in charge. They want you to go, 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 go. And I know Raha Shah has told you that he believes you are ready, that you have everything you need. If you're not ready, ask, how can I better prepare? Set those boundaries and say, I feel uncomfortable. Help me feel more comfortable. Finally, I got the lady in the Angels and Ancestors, and she tells you to enjoy growth and reap your rewards. I love this card because that apple is cut crossways so that there's a star in the seeds.
Oh, wow.
Be the star, Gertrude. Don't be afraid to be the star.
I love that.
So she says the messages are right on. So
oh, wow.
I hope that that's helpful. Just make sure that you are comfortable. That's the word that I'm getting, comfortable. That you see how it benefits everybody. And I know that that's what you want to do. You want to benefit everyone, but also to make sure that you are getting what you need and taking care of yourself.
That's
And don't
beautiful.
worry, you can do it. You've got this.
Absolutely. I love those empowering messages.
I hope that that helps Gertrude. I hope that
Yeah.
just go at your own pace.
And you've got a lovely channel, Gertrude.
Yes, you do. You're welcome. And I'm going to say that this is going to be our last reading because I have something I have to do in a little over an hour, and I need a few minutes
Yeah.
in between.
No, that's fine.
Butterfly kisses. Artsy Soul Layla is here. Don't worry
Hi,
about missing. Just rewind and watch it whenever you have time. So that's what playbacks are for.
Exactly. I love that.
Butterfly Kisses Healing wants to know if we see her moving to Aspen in the next 2 years, either full or part-time.
Okay. I've pulled some cards, so are you okay if I jump ahead, Deb?
Go ahead.
So, Butterfly Kiss, thank you for your question. So, I feel, is this anything related to some sort of teaching role or anybody in your family? Are you moving because of a job or something like that? I feel like this is something that definitely needs thought. You know, is it something that definitely feels right to you? I've also got the Two of Cups here. So I'm wondering whether it's related to a partner, whether this is something that anchors on another person as well as yourself. I feel like there's uncertainty. There may be some uncertainty in the future. But the interesting thing is, Butterfly Kisses, is that I pulled 2 cards that have got 2s in them, and you were saying 2 years. So I do think it's possible that you could be going in 2 years, but it's got to be something I think that needs a bit more deeper thought. But it feels like there's some sort of, is it to be with somebody or some sort of union there? But perhaps it does need thought. But the other thing I've got here is go slow and take time. It's not something to rush into. This card keeps popping up tonight. It's not something to rush into. Perhaps it does need a bit more thought before, you know, deciding definitely on it. But certainly feels like it's, I don't know whether it's either to be with someone or be around someone or with somebody, but it feels like it's important to you, but perhaps just needs a bit more thought. I hope that makes sense.
I agree with what Ben said. First, I got the Druid to hold the space. So think about what you're doing. Next, I got Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. So I feel like this has something to do with the land of the actual property that you would be moving to. Be devoted and committed, the Sage. So make sure, count the cost, that it's exactly what you want to do, that it's what is best for you, for the highest good, for your highest good. And if when you need to, be the hermit, retreat and recharge. My pendulum said you will make the move, not this year, but in 2 years. That gives you time to do all of these things, to think about everything, to, if you feel overwhelmed, to stop and gather your thoughts and yourself and hold space. Hold space for it. If it's what you truly want, it will happen. And if it's for your highest good.
That's lovely.
I hope that resonates and is helpful. Of course, this was for entertainment purposes only. So
Oh, I'm trying to follow it. There we go.
the energy could change, but for now, that's what the energy says, is that it will happen.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Juno.
Thank you, Juno.
I have been very happy to have hosted you today, Ben. I'm
Oh, thank you, Deb.
so pleased that you decided to come on and we had our chat, and I thought
Yeah.
it was an interesting discussion. We
Yeah.
could probably talk a lot longer.
Forever.
So I'm going to invite you back anytime you'd
I
like.
hope so. I'd love to come back. And can I just say, Deb, it's been an absolute pleasure being on here with you today.
Well,
And
thank you.
you are such a warm-hearted person. And it's been such a sad day today, but you've really topped it off in a nice way for me. And I love being in your company. I think you're a wonderful soul. So thank you so much for having
Oops.
me.
There we go. Nothing new. Yes. So you have it. You know what you need to do. So thank you for asking the question.
Thanks,
well, and I truly enjoyed the discussion as well. Deanne, I think that, like I said, you are invited back anytime you'd like to come.
Thank you.
I'd be pleased to have you back. Tell us, do you have anything coming up in the near future?
Let me get my diary. I'm not sure. I have. I should. God, of course, I should say this because I'm on Gerald's channel tomorrow. Gosh, I mustn't forget that.
That's yes. And that's going to be a back and forth.
That's
discussion.
right, back and forth.
And Gerald and Jamie do not know what the questions are.
No, they've got no idea.
That you do.
I do. How exciting. So yes, don't miss that.
That will be so much fun. I love those shows.
Oh, me too. And I'm so glad he asked me to be part of that, to ask them questions. So I'm really looking forward to, I was going to say roasting, but of course I'd never roast anybody because I would never do that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And that's it until, yeah, that's it. That's what I've got on for next week.
And I don't have anything scheduled for a bit until I've got Gerald's coming back in October. So we have like 3 weeks until that's going to happen. So I will be on the lookout because I will be sending out some emails and deciding what story I want to tell. So.
Oh, I love it. Look forward to that.
So thank you so much. Thank you everyone in chat for coming and being with us. So, and until next time, beautiful beings.
Bye for now.